Hey guys, Ray David here. I have had my iPad since launch day, and I have yet to show you guys any of my apps outside of my live broadcast at techsocial.com/live. So I'm going to do just that. And I will highlight, I guess, 4 apps that I find interesting, and then I'll highlight 4 more, 5 more, maybe 3, I don't know, in future videos. So first up, I'm going to do Mashable. If you have not heard of Mashable, I kind of feel sorry for you because it is one of the most popular websites in the world. And as you can tell on the splash startup screen, it is the social media guide, and I mean the social media guide, because they have articles about social media, technology, especially Apple. They seem to love Apple-related news, and basically anything big in the world of social media. So here's the basic view. You have your navigation of categories. You have social media, mobile-related news. It's not the quickest app. There it goes. Mobile. So you probably see some stories about Android or iPhone or BlackBerry. But if you go back to all, that's the most popular view in my opinion. And then of course you can scroll through the articles. And here's a good example. Apple holding special media event September 1st. So as you can see, it pops up in a nice fashionable floating window kind of view. And you can read the article right there. And of course you can go left or right to different articles instead of having to even back out. For instance, this one is about a brief history of Dig, since Kevin Rose just launched Dig V4. Congrats to Kevin Rose, that's a big deal. And then you can share your article on Facebook, Twitter. You could read later if you have an Instapaper account. And of course you can email the article or open in Safari. So let's get out of there. It's not the most responsive app. It's not perfect, but what is. And then of course other sections over here. They have trending, Facebook guidebook. They even have a Twitter guidebook, which I find interesting. So if anybody needs tips on Twitter, besides watching my video on tips for Twitter, I made that one a couple weeks back if you're interested. They also have this Twitter guidebook with plenty of tips. And it acts just like Safari. You can pinch to zoom and all that good stuff. And that is Mashable. Next up is one of the best games I've ever played on the iPad and iPhone, and that is Pinball HD. Pinball HD for the iPad is all 3 pinball games built into one. Wait for that to rotate.
Welcome to the deep.
I don't know why it's taking so long to rotate. There it goes. You can play in landscape view, but in my opinion, the portrait view is much more usable. But I'll just show you guys, for example, right now in landscape view. For the left flipper, you simply tap the left side of the screen, and right flipper, right. And guys, I gotta say, this is easily my favorite pinball game because the physics are amazing, the graphics are very good, very vibrant, the sound is great, and I really don't have any real complaints about this game. So if you tap the left top of the screen, you can exit, and they have all 3 games built into one for only $3. That's the worldwide scoreboard. Oh, I'm sorry. I always do that. You scroll vertically. There's Wild West Pinball, their first pinball game that I got for the iPhone. It's amazing. And of course, they have, what's this one called again? I'm honestly not a big fan of this one. It's like jungle style. Yeah, jungle style. This one's pretty fun, but my favorites are Wild West and The Deep. So I'll show you Wild West real quick. This sport is very basic. There's not much to it, but it's one of my favorites because, like I said, it was their first pinball game, and I was blown away by the physics, and I still am. I have yet to find a pinball game that actually beats this. Of course, it goes right down the middle, but that's just my luck. That is Pinball HD. Alright, so staying on the topic of games, the third one I want to show off is Solitaire. Real Solitaire, I should call it. HD. This is the free version, hence the big free thing over here. And as you can see, it is a very stylish game for a solitaire game. I was so impressed by the features and the presentation of this game, especially being free. Now, of course, it's free, so you're going to have this little banner down here saying upgrade. And if you touch upgrade, it'll take you to the App Store. I don't even know how much it is. It's probably a couple bucks, which isn't bad if you're really into solitaire. Let's see. $2. Yeah, that's not bad at all. So let's get back to the game here. And as I said, it's a very flashy game. Look at the transitions. It's amazing for a card game. So of course Solitaire is very basic, you just move the card. And something I really like about this is the physics. Check this out. If I drag the card to the right, it tilts to the left. But if I drag it to the left, it tilts to the right. That is an amazing attention to detail. Yes, I might seem a bit dramatic about a card game, but I just really appreciate a great presentation. So you go into settings, you can change the draw to draw 1 or draw 2, or 3, excuse me, draw 1 or draw 3. Draw 2 wouldn't really make sense. Scoring, none, standard, or Vega style. Timed game, I'm not really a fan of timed games, so I leave that off. Show moves on, game sounds on. But this is one of my favorite features, wallpaper. You can change the wallpaper to pretty much anything you want. And yes, I mean anything, because you can even use your own photos. So if you're going to select photo, I'll find a random picture that I found of Jasmine. Obviously, most of my viewers know who Jasmine is, our pug. So if we back out of this, you really can't see her because the cards are covering her face, but believe me, she's there. There's her eye. And that is Solitaire HD. The final app I want to talk about tonight is Angry Birds HD. If you have not heard of this game, I really don't know how you have not heard of it. Everybody's always talking about it on Twitter and Facebook, and I believe they even have Angry Birds toys coming out, which I actually might buy, because I'm that big of a fan. It's a very basic game, but I think that's why it's so popular. The premise is so basic that it's so much fun and addicting that I've literally stayed up till 6 a.m. playing one night. Actually, probably a couple nights. And that is no joke. The game's very basic. Here's a blue bird. You tap the screen, he splits into 3 birds. And the basic premise of the game is to kill all these green pigs, hence the name Angry Birds. These birds are pretty pissed off. So let me go to a very basic level to give you a better idea of how the game works. Let's go to level 1. It doesn't get easier than this. This is a red bird. He doesn't do anything except just fly. And of course, I'm not going to try that hard in this video because I'm rushing. But this is like one that dashes when you tap the screen. Let's get this one done for you guys. Now again, I'm not really trying that hard. Trust me, I can do much better because I did eventually beat this game. I have not gotten 3 stars on all levels, unfortunately. But yeah, there's that level. And now they cheer as if it's 2011 already. That makes sense. And yeah, that actually was not level 1. I'm sorry. That was my fault. Level 1 is this. Skip that. Level 1, that's pretty much as easy as it gets. And of course, I still freaking fly over the tower. There you go. And that is Angry Birds. Really not much to it, but believe me when I say this is definitely worth the $5. And on the iPhone, I believe it's worth, it costs, I don't know, $1 or $2? Either way, it's definitely worth it. This game does have Crystal support. I'm really not a fan of Crystal because I like the Plus network. But here you can view your friends, your achievements, rankings, and all that good stuff. For $5, it's a very feature-packed game, and I, for one, am a huge fan of Angry Birds. And you should be too if you have an iPad, iPhone, or iPod Touch. And that is Angry Birds, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next What's on My iPad video.